It's a great question. And I think there is this illusion that there is kind of only one path and one career, and you have to, pick that early on and stick with it. I think hopefully that's wearing as we're seeing people shift into all sorts of careers at different times in their life. 80-year-olds starting their own entrepreneurial startups to, people doing some incredible things. I think I saw a 16-year-old who started her own law firm.
Wow.
So for me, it was very much a journey of experimentation, to be very honest. I knew that rooting in psychology was, kind of that love and interest and passion about how I could help people. And I thought that certainly would be a cornerstone to whatever else I would choose from that point forward. But it also does have a challenge of kind of steering you in a direct path if you're looking for that. And so after my psychology degree, it brought me to kind of a point where I just wanted to kind of explore and travel and understand myself better. I'd, been through some quite challenging periods early in life, including my mother passing away at 19 and kind of family issues. So it set me back on kind of that path of travel, which I embraced quite early on. And so I found myself in New Zealand as a social worker. Then I pursued actually some makeup apprenticeship and business in that quite early on. Then hospitality, teaching English in Japan, working in insurance and business development. And so it definitely, for me, I would almost say just go for where your passion is. And from also, exploring these different things also did bring that there is a lot of underlying things, especially around soft skills of how do you work with a team, how do you build trust, how do you, be able to read between the lines and kind of solve problems maybe in an innovative way, especially cross-culture, kind of complexities coming into that as well. And public health, I think, felt like it wasn't a very well-known, I think, job title or even career I'd been exposed to. It happened to be one of my good friends who studied at the same university a few years before me. And she was more or less like, I can't believe you're not in public health. Like the way that you travel, the way that you're so passionate about helping a lot of people, you like big challenges that have, long-term issues that you could dive and sink your teeth into a number of problems. So that certainly was part of it. But I would also encourage a lot of young people to not be too fixated and stressed on, finding that. I think it is that journey and enjoying that journey and growing through it, making that path kind of unique to yourself. And throughout it, it definitely, now looking back, it's clearer to me that I was an entrepreneur in some ways. There wasn't really the word. I think I used, at one point I was quite interested in being an inventor, but didn't really know what to invent. So I think, it also shifts with the times. Like we're in a very unique time where running your own startup and business consultancy freelance, it starts to become a lot more accessible. There's so much material and role models online to learn from. So it's quite a unique opportunity to dive into a lot of different things and trial it out even on a voluntary or internship basis. So there's not, that kind of solidarity. There's so many different jobs being available all of the time and more people creating new ones. So just, I would say my advice would be to just keep evolving as until your kind of compass is pointed in the right direction.
I love that. And I love how you never got fixed in a certain subject. Like you just let your passions kind of drive you, and you were okay with letting things go. And I think that's the hard thing for a lot of us, is that you go down a certain path or a certain career field. And then I've talked to a lot of friends where there comes a certain point where people might feel stuck. Like, oh, well, I can't change now. I've done this degree program, or I've been in this career field for 10 years. I kind of got to stick with it now. But I love your perspective of like, actually, you don't. Actually, you can pursue other things, and your skill set, the soft skills you've learned, your experiences can easily adapt into other fields. You just have to like look for it. I'm curious, like, as you kind of went to different countries and tried different things, and as you said, like experimented. I love that word that you used. At what point did you like kind of let something go? Like you were going down one path, even like teaching, and this was like
Mhm.
interesting to you. Like obviously, teaching is a lot of work. You have to be passionate about education, passionate about helping others, and then at some point, like that transition. I'm really curious about those transitions because those are the hardest times to like. When do I let go of this that I was super passionate about at one point and then move in this new direction? Can you talk about those like pivotal points for you?
Thank you so much for listening to this clip of the Data Talk podcast. To check out the full show or see the full catalog of previous episodes, go to Experian.com/Data Talk.